Okay, I'm going to do a tour of this house. First, I wanted to show a street view. All of the houses on this block are really nice, and most of them look updated, like they've got 30-year roof shingles and new windows. I can see that from the outside. Nice trees, very well kept. So, here we go. It's a 1-car wide driveway. I am parked in the middle of it, and then they kind of paved a little bump out for a second vehicle. There's also concrete behind that big sage bush. Neighbor's got a nice styling fence. And that is some kind of an oak. I think it's like a Monterey oak. And one of those Bradford pears, the blooming pears. It's got 30-year dimensional shingles and a ridge vent. And the exterior of the original house was 100% brick. I haven't actually seen any cracks in the mortar. Of course, that is a converted garage. They made it look pretty decent. They did put hardy siding up there on that eaves. Gables, I mean. And that's a new window. But the windows on the back of the house are definitely, actually, they might have just done a new window on that front window. That's the AC compressor. There's a bunch of hackberry saplings coming up in the fence line. It's a 4-foot chain link that goes around the lot. Very level lot, I will say that. And they've got excellent grass cover. There's some cracking in the sidewalks. No big deal. Actually, just that one. And I really like the brick windowsills. Those are cool. Okay, so they put new windows here, of course, in the addition. So it looks like the front of the house has new windows. Coming inside, it is laminate flooring. The AC was not on, and it was 88 degrees when I walked in. I turned it on about 5 minutes ago, and it's still 88 degrees. But the system supposedly is just a couple of years old. That was in the seller's disclosure, which I did email you. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, so this is the living room. 2 front windows. There's a pocket door, but I can't, oh, there it goes. Had to stick my finger up there. Okay, so pocket door has one piece of glass that's crackled glass or shattered. It did have knotty pine paneling in this dining room that's been painted over. Now the back of the house has definitely got the original aluminum frame single pane windows. Okay, the kitchen cabinets are original. I actually don't have a problem with that. They were made better. They were knotty pine, which is knotty pine paneling and cabinetry is kind of making a style comeback, as are these slab doors for cabinets. So that's even, I don't know your style, but these cabinets could stay and just either get repainted or stripped down to the knotty pine and refinished. They're laminate countertops, kind of an old school style, but they appear to be newer. They're definitely not original to the house. No fridge. This would be your pantry cabinet. Gas, pretty decent stove. It's like a 5-burner. It is a Frigidaire Gallery and a Frigidaire Gallery microwave, which is actually vented to the outside. So that's nice. Then you got a window over the sink, but it looks into this room addition, which I'm gonna go into now because I can't figure out how to turn on the light. Now this room was kind of a disappointment because I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm palming the ceiling. I am about 5'8". So this is not an 8-foot ceiling. This was basically a porch that was enclosed. This is the original exterior back wall of the house. And this room is carpeted, and there's definitely some foundation stuff going on. Like right here, as I walk to this corner, I can feel that I'm going down. Same thing over here at this corner. It goes down. The listing agent's calling me back. This was an exterior door, which is now permanently sealed shut. Now down here, this is where you can see there was water penetration. That is kind of moldy. Oh my. I can, oh holy, what? Okay, so underneath this carpet, there is plywood. I'm sticking my fingers down in this void. There's plywood. So this seems like this floor was built up on top of a concrete slab. So, yeah, this room was disappointing. The 7-foot ceiling is a problem. Here I am standing underneath the fan, and that's how close it is to my face. The little pulley string with the disc on it is right over my head. I'm gonna go outside real quick. So all the old original windows are on the back side of the house, and it's kind of nice the way they did this paver patio, but it's got some problems. The little concrete footer wall broke off right there, and I think it's just like a brick missing from there. The pergola, it's not in the best shape. Maybe could be, I would rather have a covered patio than a pergola, but this This is an issue here for the foundation that would have to be corrected, is that all the bricks closest to the slab have tipped and dipped down about 2 inches from level. So that would be holding water, and since this isn't a solid roof over it, every time it rains, you're going to have water pooling right against the foundation, which is never good. And you can see that continues. It starts right about there, and then it keeps going. So I definitely would start with a foundation bid on this side of the exterior. The interesting thing is I don't see any cracks in the brick mortar, but I do see sheetrock cracks on the inside. The compressor is big, it's pretty new. This is a little bit jinky. I'm not quite sure how important that is, but the neighbor has a privacy fence right against the 4-foot chain link, and then you got a bunch of hackberries and some kind of vines. I think it's a jewelweed vine and some nandinas and a crepe myrtle that's got vines overtaking it. Some jasmine. There's a metal shed here. The roof is like right at my chin level, and the slab is very in bad shape. It could be a good chicken coop though. So the chain link across the back, there is a little gate here, but it's overgrown with vines, so I can't get it open. But this is the whole backyard. It's just a strip here across the back, so not a lot of yard. Some passion vines. Here's the little gate. And looking down into the creek bed, you can see, oh, there's a raccoon. Ha ha. Hi, guy. That's a raccoon making that sound. They did the like chain link fencing with rocks. Okay, sorry. I'll go away. But yeah, nice wallow green in the back. You've got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet, and then it goes straight down into the creek bed. So, but the city did, this is how the city mitigates flooding issues in these creeks. They build these walls. It's to stop erosion also. Okay, so that's the back. The addition has hardy siding. Looks recently painted. And then this storage building here is pretty nice. The neighbor on that side has a nice tall fence. That looks like it's 8 feet, which you have to get a variance for. The shed is pretty nice. It's very intact. That, I believe, is oil that spilled on the floor. It's got some kind of an insulating paneling on the inside and on the ceiling, and it looks like there's a ridge vent. So this is a nice, definitely a nice storage building, lots of shelving built in there. Very intact. Okay, sorry, let's go back inside. Just wanted to get this before it got dark. There is not a whole lot, but that up there is the original asbestos siding of the 50s, and then some peeling paint. It's just on that one gable, I think. Okay. This room also, I will tell you, it smells a little moldy, which isn't surprising because there is mold on that back wall inside that closet. Okay, so this is another little issue, is the step down into this area. And then this back here is just a little scary. Can't really see because there's no lights. It's got those old school acoustic tiles on the ceiling. I would, in my opinion, to give this place its full value, it's got to have an 8-foot ceiling. So you'd have to rip this ceiling off and pop it up at least a foot. Okay. So there's another little change in the floor here as you step down into the garage conversion. This is a converted 1-car garage, and they have chopped it up. This is the AC closet. I can see that it does not have combustion air, and it is now in an interior space, so that's not to code. Should have combustion air. Oh, geez. Okay, and then this little room is all original knotty pine. It has that funky acoustic tile ceiling. And some crazy old carpet in here. But, yeah, they kind of carved up this addition in an odd way. So you got this little home office room. The windows are new. I mean, you know, that whenever it was converted, those windows were put in. And then they made a built-in desk. Yeah, it's attached. Okay, so that's the little home office room. So then you got over here a door to the outside and the laundry room with the water heater. It has an electric plug for the dryer. Looks like they had a stack washer dryer in here. And you've got your gas tank water heater, which is not installed to code. It's supposed to be 18 inches off the floor with a drip pan. And even though this plumbing looks new, it does not have combustion air. So that is also not to code. And then this was mentioned in the seller's disclosure that there had been water leaking back there. The walls in this laundry room are plywood that's been painted over. And then this is interesting. This is the original asbestos floor tile, which, yeah, careful. You don't want to breathe that when you're getting rid of it. And then like 3 other layers of flooring. I don't know what they had here, but um, they didn't put the laminate over the whole floor. And anyway, so that's the garage conversion. Very choppy. It's a lot of small rooms. I'm thinking this wall, depending on which way the joists go, this wall could come out and you'd have a big L-shaped. If you take out this wall, you lose all those upper cabinets, and then you wouldn't have that many cabinets in your kitchen. You could move them like over there. Anyway, I'll stop trying to remodel the house for you. Okay, little electrical sub panel. So I'm gonna guess I did not see the electrical service panel on the outside of the house, but I'm gonna guess that was not updated. This would be the master bedroom. Fans wobbling, original aluminum single pane window. Here's where we see, okay, can you see that? Stress crack. So I did see a number of these stress cracks radiating from the corners of the windows in the bedrooms, which are indicative of foundation movement. And there's another crack there in the ceiling. There are some cracks that have been patched, but there's a crack. There's a crack. I can tell right here, and over this door there were also cracks that have been painted over. And then down here is another area of water damage on the baseboard inside the closet. It doesn't smell bad, but yeah, it's highly visible. This is the master bath. You got linens right here as you come in. There's a window. Oh, there was cracks here that got patched, and a crack in the ceiling. So yeah, first thing is going to be a foundation inspection. It looks like they tried to cover up a lot of stress cracks with this texture, but I can see them. And then this, assuming is original to the house, this little tiny shower. It's about 12, 24, 36, about 40 inches in its longest dimension. And 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 inches wide. I'm standing in it. It does not have a ceiling right over my head. It goes up to the regular ceiling. The tile's in good shape. It could stand to be regrouted. There's some damage there. Okay, so that was the master. Then we've got a long hallway with all of the bedrooms and a coat closet. And you can also see that there's water damage here. So it looks like whenever they flooded, they really didn't, oh my, okay. and it's still got asbestos tile under it. I'm wondering, it is a possibility that this laminate flooring was installed on top of the asbestos tile, since they did not demo it out in some areas. They may not have demoed it out at all. Okay, so this is bathroom number 2. It's a little less cramped. It's got a old school kind of jacuzzi tub with a grab bar, the old window, and there's a little crack scar. So yeah, cracking pretty much all through this side of the house. There's one above the door. There's another one. I can tell there was one across the ceiling and they just blobbed a bunch of texture on top of it. Same on this door. There's a crack there, crack there, crack there. We got lots of ammo for a low offer, I'll tell you that. This is going to be a pretty big job, because when you start with foundation, generally you have to let it rest for a few weeks. Most foundation companies say 6 weeks before you do any sheetrock repair, because more stress cracks may open up. So there's one there, and under the window there's another one. And that's driving me crazy. So I can't tell what it's clicking against, but oh yeah, and there's another one there over the door. The door casings are really nice. It looks like they were painted with oil paint. They're very 1950s kind of door casings. I would keep those. And so this is bedroom number 3. The middle bedroom, oh, I went right past it. Did I? Did I go in here? Yeah, I did. There's that crack. Hello, crack. There's another one. Okay, so then that room is only like 9 by 9, 9 by 10. And then this room, I can actually see the floor dipping here towards this corner. And no surprise, sheetrock crack all the way up this wall. So, yep, definitely got foundation issues. That's going to be the first estimate that you want to get. Big crack on that window. Another crack under this one. Kind of losing my light. This house has really poor lighting. This baseboard in here, there's no water damage. Okay, I think that's it. So one hallway down the south side of the house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And then it's kind of the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the laundry room out through that door into the conversion, and the little office room, and then this room. And you can see here, here's the door casing, and there's the ceiling of that room. So that much space is missing to have an 8-foot ceiling. And I will tell you, Appraisers will not give any value to a room that has a ceiling that's less than 8 feet. And I know that from a bitter experience on a 1920s house that I sold in Elgin years ago. It had a room that was made out of the attic, and it did not have it was like a 7-foot ceiling only in the middle of the room. And then it sloped down on the sides. And the appraiser gave that whole second story 0 value because it wasn't an 8-foot ceiling. So, and this is kind of, what the hell's going on here? But you got exposed AC ductwork coming down to this metal box. I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna upload this and then email you the link.